Just starting work session.
Things going pretty well. I'm happy to announce we just crested the 150-hour mark in our motor. And trouble free. No issues, no complications. The only thing we kept routinely doing was blocking ourselves out because we weren't smart enough probably to run the two to the back. Video. This kind of feel that forward and this system in and out. It's got a key, but there used to be a little code you had to press in. And if you made a mistake the first time, the second time, you were done. So I think Mark and Rob locked themselves out a couple times. They use it a lot more than I do. But it's been a really good piece of equipment for us. It's a good change. I don't have to keep fuel on hand. Gave the fuel cell we had to the town guys because they can use it. So we've been diesel free, fuel free this summer. It's been a good experience. No more fumes inside. You have to turn on the fan and operate things. So it's been good.
So 150 hours, how's that compared to what you were expecting?
Or less.
Probably less.
Yeah. I think, on this one, when you're operating some of the strange things that you kind of come across between electric and diesel. Diesel, when it's running in your idle, it's just accumulating hours still. This one at 150, when you stop in the middle of the process, it's not counting. So
It's the actual usage
yeah,
hours.
it's actual usage, and I think so. It's hard to compare. It's not really like apples and apples. It's just different, So I don't know at the end of the year what will actually accumulate for time, but we started in March, so I would say we'll probably follow the same path. We'll probably put like 350, would be my guess on it. So I'm just figuring I can get updated. It's gone very well, and that's where we're at for hours. And the other thing, Shane and I talked about it. Nickel can revenue is about double what it was in the past last year. So that's on a good note. Not that we've collected anymore, but we kind of took over transporting that stuff ourselves, which I think was a good move, and it's paid off with we've taken more money with less expense. So other than that, everything's pretty good. We had our household hazardous waste day that's done last weekend. We pretty much hit our units. So they bill you by how many units. It's not like liters or gallons. I think a unit is 5 gallons of whatever somebody brings in. Most of it was just paint and automotive stuff this year. We didn't have anything weird, so that's good. We've had some weird stuff in the past. That was Saturday, 11 to 3. We did it in conjunction with Dalton. Dalton sends a person over, and folks from Dalton can come. We cut a setup fee with them. They take a portion of it we do. So it suits both towns pretty well. It's one location. They come, they have a guy there. They ask everybody which town they're from, show their ID, blah, blah, blah. And away to go. So we have our water oil and our antifreeze, which we do once a year during that. The water oil stuff that we're not really sure what's mixed with. We can't put it in the burner. We can't really identify it, so it just goes out and just goes in the water. Prepare that too. Tires went out recently, 16 tons. We are building again. So the corner of it's done. I would expect yet this year we'll probably send out another one.
Is that on pace with last year?
Yeah, we usually send out around 3 loads. Last year, don't quote me, I think it was 15 tons, 17 tons, and 16 and change. So it's a lot of dollars. So, yeah, and we've already sent 2 this year. So we'll send another. Yeah. Any questions?
No, but I just want to let you know, the knotweed spraying is Monday, August 25th, Tuesday the 26th, Wednesday the 27th. We will start at the transfer station Monday morning first. That's our first spray.
Tell you that making it in. Not only are we better at the transfer station, but I've only had one person this year come in with knotweed on the trailer. That's a huge improvement for me. So
Sure.
It happened Saturday during Household Hazardous Waste Day. And he was very proud of himself. Knew what it was. Showed up with it in the back of the truck. And I said, you are not allowed to transfer that stuff. He goes, why do it? I said, you're gonna leave it here. And I said, we're gonna put it on burn pile, because if I do anything else with it, it's gonna sort of. So I'll apologize to probably everybody on Water Street that he seated as he drove down through there. Not much we can do, but he now knows what it is. I did tell him that we had a program, that you should call somebody. I said, unfortunately, what you cut will probably be worse next year, because you've got it. Said, but let it come up, don't mess with it, and next fall, it's broken.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With the budget constraints, we weren't able to add people this year. Numerous people have called the town office and I've talked to them. I've let them know that I can put them on a wait list. We still have people from 2024 that couldn't get off the wait list now 2025. Although I'm sending them to, I think you guys know Joel White. He's a Lancaster resident. He recently got his sprayer's license.
Oh.
So I have a local resource and I send them out. If they want to work with Joel directly, great. I've toured almost all of the sites. I do see significant more knotweed on Pleasant Valley Road. I think it's in large part because of last summer storms.
Yeah.
So that's not a surprise. And, you know, weather permitting, we will spend an entire day, maybe a day and a half out east to get the new and improved knotweed that came up. I did see a couple of your spots are doing really great, but then there was some more in new spots. So
There's,
year 3 is interesting.
yeah, it's been, I mean, just a quick kind of run around the facility. I would say probably 75% of it's gone. Or whatever's come up's really stunted. It is particularly bad along Water Street, on the Water Street side of the river. It's like, if that was valuable, that would be like gold through there, because it is everywhere.
And getting there is a Dickens. That is
Yeah.
going to be
Sure, because you have to have a lot of them.
really not on our radar. I mean,
So,
you know, but we'll get up to the sand pit. I mean,
But it's
the
there.
priority is still the town right of ways and the town locations. But we continue to work at it, and if the weather gods cooperate those 3 days, we'll be able to get it done. Last year, we lost about a day. You may remember, so some folks didn't get sprayed, and I've been able to see it rebound
Yeah.
and, you know, it come back. But keep plugging away. So Monday, the 25th, I'll text you that morning to
Okay.
unlock the gate for you.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's all I have.
Well, thank you very much, Rusty. You can take off. Tim Villager's on vacation this week. Tim Brown has something else come up. He's been busy, obviously, with the pavers. The pavers had to leave for something else. They will be back next week, as they hope. So they're very busy, continuing to work on road reconstruction as well, with Martin Meadow, Weeks, and continuing to work on roads. Next up this evening, there are no appointments. We do have 2 public hearings. First one, you wish to open the public?
Just, I guess I'd like to open to Karen.
Thank you.
Do you need a motion or
Don't just need a room, you know, that was. Yeah, motion.
I'll make a motion to go into a public hearing on the acceptance of unanticipated monies over $10,000.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. This evening, we want to accept the contribution from the North Star Corporation in the amount of $68,000 to support updates to Lancaster's town hall heating system. We want to thank Mr. Paul Bouchard, who's here on behalf of the North Star Corporation. Myself and Rusty Scott presented to the corporation at a lodge meeting, just explaining the needs of the facility. And we asked for a specific dollar amount. They came through with us. We hope that we continue to have a long relationship in this building. And we understand that both of our needs were tied with these upgrades, and we want to, open it up to any questions.
Questions from the public? I asked the librarian about it. She's studying quite a bit the relationship of the North Star, the nations with the town, the building, et cetera, et cetera. People aren't aware of what the relationship is. Involved in the relationship without my understanding from what she says is the major goal of the building and gave it back to the town. Is that your take on it, sir? So, so you maybe a little bit better understand, North Star Corporation is, they mentioned North Star Lodge, that's not like lodge. And the North Star Corporation, of which I'm president of, has been for a while, oversees anything to do with the building. So if we want to put new carpeting or do an upgrade, we approach the town and let them know our intentions. And the corporation is the branch that's responsible for anything regarding the building. So the town did approach and ask the lodge for a donation of $68,000, which incidentally has no strings attached to it. It's a donation. The lodge voted 100% to give the $68,000 to the town, but because it involves the building, they had to involve the North Star Corporation, and that's how come we're involved with it. We're all masons of the same lodge, but we're a branch of the basin that oversees anything to do with the building. So I guess the point I was trying to make was that the general public doesn't understand the relationship between masons and the building. So we obviously use the third floor, had for God knows how many hundreds, not hundreds, but how many years and years and years. Well, we use the heat up there. So we felt as a lodge, look, if they need help with the heat, we use that heat. You know, so that's why the lodge is one of the reasons. And the lodge also, so you all know, likes to keep a good relationship with the town and the masons. We like to work hand in hand. So, and it was 100% voted. 100%. I mean, the members of the lodge were very happy to do this. But that's why we were involved, because we use the building and they asked us, hey, come on, we use the heat. So that's how that became about. Well, I'm not criticizing, I'm just saying, right, it's too bad that the general public understands the relationship. Right. Yeah. Instead of having people say, like, what's going on there, that's great. Well, it's a good relationship and we tend to keep it that way. So,
Yeah. I'd like to extend our thanks to the Corporation of the Masons for the corporation and the donation. And with that, I will move to accept the $68,000 to support updates to the Lancaster Town Hall heating system from the North Star Corporation.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I would just like to say thank you. This is a large donation, that is extremely helpful at a time when we're trying to, you know, not just put Band-Aids on some of our problems, but actually make the appropriate upgrades. And you understood that from meetings with Jessica and Rusty, and we really appreciate that. So that support of the town and this particular effort. It's been a long time since we've taken something like this on, and you in partnership with us is very much appreciated. Thank you.
So the lodge probably knows firsthand more than anybody in the public, because we sat up there in meetings in 90 some odd degrees up there. So when the town approached us and asked us for help, we were more than happy to help.
In this winter, when it was freezing and we're sitting out there, we were coming in because we had no heat. So you fit at both ends of the temperature.
So we have our fingers crossed that this winter it won't be 20 below up there.
Yeah. So fingers, that's right. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Next up is the acceptance of unanticipated monies over $10,000 to accept a large public water system lead service line inventory grant from the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services, NHDES, in the amount of $60,000 to assist with identifying the material of water service lines classified as unknown material type in the initial 2024 lead service line inventory filed with New Hampshire DES.
So is this funding going towards, like, is it a reimbursement to us? Was it the grant we had before? It's a reimbursement, or is this go to Hazen? What is this?
This is going to be used towards checking on our unknown lines.
Excellent. And we still have the woman in Tim's department helping part-time. I know she took another position.
Very part-time, so
Is he looking for someone else? Does he need assistance?
I have not had an answer from her.
Okay.
But she will not be in the, regardless, the person would not be who's on the ground doing this work. She's just doing it.
Oh, any comments? Yeah, yes, all right. So we're checking individual houses to make sure they haven't got a lead line. Yeah. Okay, 30 years ago, when we put the water meters, maybe a year or two off. Maybe Leon could tell me. We put water meters in, we had licensed plumber put them in. Leon's brother was a bird dog and made arrangements to get the plumber in. To put water meters in. There, what the rule was, in the law was then, was against lead pipe back then, so. Well, I was not putting now meter up, the galvanized for lead. Okay, so why we have to go back and look for lead today? That if plumber was licensed, get a drink of water if you hook it. And the place, line after line after line, 984 minutes somewhere. And so it, well, David, Dermot White, we all made a lot of money changing water lines because they were not allowed to hook to a lead line. So why are we spending money to look for lead line today? It should not exist.
Because it's an EPA mandate.
Well, the EPA can't use a common sense that says we have licensed plumber up these water meters on.
Was that documented?
Sure, and it was the law back then.
All the guys have to do is verify that there is no lead. And we also have to do for the town as well.
Well, I understand, so we haven't dug up everything.
Right.
Now, we've been in every single water meter in, we're only. In them. The land, so we shouldn't have to spend a lot of money looking for that. Common sense. And they should be, if you brought that to their attention, they should be perfectly happy with that, shouldn't they?
Again,
So, yes, and if they're allowing us to sign up, if we don't have the appropriate records, they're allowing Tim to certify off on those types of things, but they're also implementing a 20% audit, basically. So we still have to go on the ground, whether or not we
we have to have documentation.
We have the documentation, we put the water meters in, and we went down from it on that, that's the documentation. I'm sorry, I'm common sense, I guess.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. All right.
I will make a motion to accept a $60,000 grant from Public Water System Lead Service Line Inventory Grant from the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services to assist with identifying the material water service lines classified as unknown material type in the initial 2024 lead service line inventory filed with the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services.
Let's look at that. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that ends the public hearing. Now we'll go back to the regular selectmen meeting.
next up is the review of minutes. I have the July 21st, 2025 meeting minutes.
I did see one change that needs to be made that I can add into my motion. Alan was speaking during appointments, and I believe he mentioned there was a dead tree on Wesson Road, not Elm Street.
I made that change,
Okay.
and I think I emailed everybody, but
I'm just bringing it out so that, okay. So, with that change, I will, make a motion to accept the minutes of July 25th.
Sorry.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Again,
This is the one that has the change, Terry?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for making that change.
We have, next up, sign various paperwork. We have a repurchase deed for 29 Kilkenny Street, P04, lot 69. application for reimbursement to towns and cities in which federal and state forest land is situated. The timber tax warrants, one for R 26-035 and one for R 16-048. Two intends to cut this evening from Granite State Land Holdings, lot R 03-003 and Foss lot R 22-003-B. Business number one, name of private road. So I want to thank the board for their position the last time in extending the latest road to Terry Abbott Road. I will be drafting something to place on Facebook for greater visibility, like on why you've taken this position, and again, thanking them for extending our thanks to them. What I have in front of you this evening is for a proposed road called Luco's Way. This is off of Page Hill. This particular parcel has been in their family for 30 years. So looking to you to name the road. I'm just hoping that we take into consideration the property owner's desire for it to be named. Proposed.
I'll make a motion to name the private road off Page Hill. Guess I'll call it. Luco's Way.
Is the family name,
Yeah.
is they own the land?
And it was,
I-
his father did, and, wanted to do, I think, a legacy project and passed away before he could realize it. And so his son now is coming out to do that. So,
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next up this evening is an NBRC letter of support. So I received from another organization, fiscal year 26 discretionary spending budget call for the elimination of the Northern Border Regional Commission. So I'm looking to see from you all if you would wish for me to draft something on behalf of the town of Lancaster to send along to our federal delegation in support of the NBRC. We are receiving NBRC funding for the Summer Street project. Again, I just didn't want to do this without your. Next up, bid opening for solar bids. We received only one submission, so opening that this evening. It's from Barrington Solar. It is Richard.
this is for work in 2026.
Yes, for the lagoon system that was voted on during the town meeting in 2025. This is for turnkey solar proposal for the town of Lancaster wastewater lagoon system.
And we still don't have,
We still do not have, yes, we're still waiting on.
they're still in review.
Yeah, so
Haven't seen many emails.
Pardon?
Haven't seen many emails.
I think they've had some staff turnover.
Okay.
And I know that, Melissa had wanted us to get out ahead for 2026 because that's gonna start getting billed on the docket. 2025, but with that, we don't have. Also,
so they came in at $197,764. My recommend
197, what?
197,
164?
764.
Thank you. Well, where that was for 2026
Yes.
work.
Recommendation is to sit tight on this and continue to work with Melissa. Don't want to award anything prior to.
Let them know we receive it.
Pardon?
We let them know that we are receiving it.
I already did, thank you.
Turning the company again,
Barrington Solar?
we are in.
Thank you. There is no new other business. Old business this evening, I have a Lancaster Housing Authority appointment for Rob Christie. So we are at a standstill with the LHA because we had 4-person board, 2 withdrew, and so we did not have a quorum. So we want to thank Mr. Christie for throwing his hat into the ring after I reached out to board members, like current Lancaster board members, hoping to solicit a few volunteers. Hopefully this will allow them to continue on their work. We have some work that requires some action items and they can't take any action without a form.
You mentioned I'm already on 4 organizations and I'm standing up because position needs to be filled. And if there's someone else that comes forth and is enthusiastic and wants to do it, I'll be the first to say, have at it. I do want to ask, if I have to travel to Berlin, can I put in for mileage?
It's here in Lancaster.
That's an inside joke.
Okay.
But so, again, I feel like I'll do the work. I'm glad to do it. I know I'm stretched in with, that'll be my 5th hat to wear, but, and I suggested 4 other days, but I don't know if any of them had any interest. You want to do it?
How long is the term?
I was just trying to, with the 2 people falling out, I'm not sure. So he wanted to.
The length of his commitment.
Right.
How, I was trying to figure out what the length of your commitment was, knowing how full you are and how generous you're being to do this, Rob.
Well,
Thank you.
as usual, with something like this, there's a 1, a 2, and a 3-year slot usually. Which one's open?
So you could say, you could motion to appoint to finish out Karen Whitney's term.
motion to finish out Karen Whitney's term, maybe be the motion tonight.
We're not sure, but we can tell you tomorrow.
We don't know when it ends.
That's what it is.
So it's 1, 2, or 3 years. You know what happened to KJ, was she filled in for 6 months, the next thing you know, she's just like. No, okay, great, just let me know, I assume if you do appoint me tonight, that there's an oath that has to be signed.
Yes.
I will second that motion.
Not to exceed 3 years, or to
No,
finish Karen Whitney's.
Karen,
Finish Karen Whitney's term.
Okay. All in favor?
I,
Aye. It's yours, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome.
Thank
Other business, or old business number 2, the path of Causeway Street. So I want to thank Leon for the work that you've done for this. I know seeing a few old deeds in front of my desk and appreciate it. And the need for this, just to back this up, is for 911 numbering.
So the decision we need to make is whether the pathway is towards
They kill. What? Why? Is the path traveled or is it?
not sure the information that I gathered made it much more clear. Other than,
You should help me.
other than the town actually gave up parts of the road in sections, not all at once. So. Which was very interesting in itself.
Well, here we sit.
Make a motion.
Okay.
Leon.
Going to table it?
No. I would make a motion to table. And I will try to dig some more. But this is what I can find. I said some pretty interesting reading. Because at one time Red Parks believed that the town had deeded this road over to him, and I would say in the old records, it's called Causeway Road, not Causeway Street. But it's obvious they gave him the right to travel over that. And he could not hold the town liable for anything on Causeway Street or for repairs on Causeway Road. Or any extensions such, which makes it even more confusing. Does it go out towards his camp or does it run? So, one thing that I did find interesting, I think the Blanchard section was from Page Hill to the Blanchard house when they threw it up. But they did not say Causeway Road or anything else. It just said they threw that section up. And it's the same as when they threw the section for the fall lot, they threw the section from the Paul pasture to the house. So, not quite clear yet. And I'm not sure that we'll get any clearer, but we'll try to do some more research.
Okay. Well, table it. Any further?
We'll make a motion to,
Motions
Table.
are not.
sorry.
We're looking for a
Just
second.
made it?
We're looking for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
That's all right.
Thank you very much. Next up this evening, select board member report.
Well, again, I come here with nothing to report.
I have two things. I got a call from a resident on Stone Street today about the paving. I don't know if either of you guys have been out there since it paved.
I was off.
If you remember that something came up before the paving started, that they wanted to make sure that there was a question whether or not we were going to take out the sidewalk because some people wanted the road wider and wanted no sidewalk. It sounded as though when Jessica and Tim Brown went out, that in fact, some people really wanted the sidewalk. Well, someone called me today and the sidewalk hasn't come out, but it looks like one big paving situation, not a clear delineation of where the sidewalk is. And that was certainly not what I understood was going to happen. And where are we with that project and what recourse do we have? And I want to obviously report back to the resident.
Have they put the plant coding up? I was gonna say they don't, because they've got issues with a driveway too, that's gonna have to be addressed, because they raised the level of the road. Where
Okay.
a resident can only use part of his driveway. White car, definitely not. The, to me, it looked like a rough base coat the last time I was on the street. So I wasn't that concerned on the fact that it's rough, it doesn't have the final coating.
Do we know when they're coming back out? And
Anticipated for next Monday and Tuesday, but
Well, from what I could see, is there is no, what we call curved
Like a-
sidewalk.
like a previous,
No.
It is flat. Like catch basin, like everything's funneled through that. So there's no delineation of the sidewalk.
someone was parked on it today when I drove out, parked right on the sidewalk because it looks like
Oh,
So I guess I'm gonna fire,
then park on the side.
sidewalk there.
gonna find out what.
We'll get it. You may make Tim aware, okay?
you
To the lucky resident, know this is not complete. And that you and Tim will work on.
Okay.
Second thing I want to say is thank you and your family for the work up here in this room. Meeting, we come and we see new improvements, and while it may seem like a lot, it is. And we know you have rallied the entire family to assist, and the pride here shows. And, I appreciate it. So thank you.
thank you very much. Yeah, the kiddos were here scraping the wallpaper and they orange oiled all the wood, so, don't give up on youth. There's some good kids, Yep.
In our future.
That obviously Stone Street was one of the things, make sure that we make the residents' driveways real passable for their cars. And fountain again.
No, so, been going back and Barry and as recent as probably 10 a.m. this morning. This morning it was how many trips it will take to get the fountain pieces here. He is now saying the third week of August, and we will be, working with the town crew to get the trailer and get the pieces out here, so.
Okay.
We would like to get this, Primex is antsy to get this off our plates. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing it up in action.
Yes.
And I know it's a sore subject, but I'm gonna bring it up. The hedges again. Are we really making any progress?
We are, we need to go to for it to get a little bit more information on his take. Then we need to probably end up survey to verify what we do with it. What we don't.
And here. This has been playing with for so long.
Oh, it is.
And then with the comment of the taxpayer after the proposal was turned down at town meeting that now he could drag this out another 10 years. Six of my chrome. And I really don't want him thinking he's gonna drag it out for 10 more years.
No, and there's a way budget has been running this year. I really just didn't dare to pull the trigger on surveyor and get more legal. And just taking away a little bit of time. I have done some work on it myself. To try to find out information, but I'm to the point where I can't do anything more.
Just don't understand why we'd have a road that's a 49-foot right of way.
Well,
on one
the
side.
thing is, this, they run into this all over. Is that they call it an undefined right. Either party. And that's what we gotta,
Is that what this is?
that's what I've been told. But until the town goes and actually surveys it. And proves one way or the other. Research the needs, votes.
My other concern is generally in the past, when the town's been notified of a hazard. If the town doesn't mitigate it in 72 hours,
Right.
the town can be held
Liable.
liable.
Yeah.
And
This is
We're-
how many years?
probably 30 or more. I think they were fighting over it before I was on the board the first time.
If we took action, what would the risk be?
I honestly don't know, because I don't know where it would drag out.
What would the cost?
All I know is that when we addressed this in the beginning, council for the town advised us not to touch the trees until we had all the information. Because we, have a like standard.
So we either have attorney's costs, surveyor's costs,
Yep.
and or removal.
Stay removal from this.
And we don't know the cost of the costs.
No. It's spending money. Foolishly trying to figure out, what the best.
Like I said, I'm not gonna push the issue tonight, but I'm saying we have to move.
Yep.
We know it's a hazard. If we have an accident out there, it could cost us more than
So we understand.
what we'll spend removing them. I would personally tell you tonight that I would vote to remove the trees and then let the chips fall where they may. I really think that town voters at the town meeting told us the direction that they wanted us to go.
They did, and then after that town meeting, I was focused, I was gonna do it. But we have a budget problem, right?
Oh, see it hanging out there, and I see a liability hazard for the town too. So,
I wanna add one more thing to this. Would you say a prudent action would be for Jessica to put out bids to remove? You see how much that costs, and make a decision whether it comes out of,
I think,
it's some fun, but everyone gets mad that we spend money out of
I just
what we saw. Is there something action we can take?
want to be clear on one thing. Cost of removal. But what's the cost if we remove something that isn't? That's what troubles me. Like, you just don't feel.
That's a risk we're on.
I can tell that in that category, not knowing, not doing our due diligence, find out if yes, we are.
And we're at risk for accident.
I know,
Either way.
it's
It is.
the town bound by a duty to make sure there's safety on its road. That's a town road. It's been a known hazard and it still seems the first time I was on the board, they trimmed them back. We know there's a hazard there. We've been playing this game. The taxpayer thinks he can drag it out another 10 years. He's dragged it out 30 years now. One way or the other, we're gonna end up in court. Whether we mitigate the hazard or we don't, we're gonna end up in court. That's the way I look. And that's been something, again, back in the nineties, we keep kicking the can down the road. We've been fortunate. And like I said, the taxpayers took a look at the proposed solution. And I think part of the problem was only solved half of the problem. Because he still didn't want to trim the trees on the other section. So.
What tangible actions can we take to try to move this forward?
I would recommend contact our town and get an opinion.
As to the risk,
Move forward.
move forward.
We have to move forward. So we as a board understand when we make a decision, what the consequences would be, would not.
Yeah, the risks involved.
That's what I would recommend.
I think we gotta do it. Because I don't think we're going to get cooperation from the tax. And I think no matter what we do, we run the risk of ending up.
Get hold of Chris Ball. Figure it out.
In an actual vote?
No.
Okay. Yeah, cool action. Thank you.
Town manager report. I have had very random welfare applicants recently. Awarded $3,387.31 since July 15th. Two situations for emergency housing as shelter statewide were full. They also did receive my Medicaid's been cut call today. I met with Bruce Murphy from New Hampshire Homeland Security and Emergency Management. He is our new community liaison, replacing Deb Yeager. He lives in Lancaster currently, is fixing up a house in Jefferson, but he's local to us. He was very helpful during the call. We are now planning a railroad tabletop hosted by Bruce to practice interagency communication. So you know what happens if you're right on site, you get that, but it's the notification process that because the rail line is newly active, we have some rest. Good. So we're working with Vermont Rail as well. We spoke about our hazard mitigation plan with Bruce, and we were talking about all the actions that we've been taking as far as that. We're going to be updating our volunteer list, or at least putting that out there to make sure that we are maintaining the information that we have. And the list was last updated in May during COVID. So Chief Flynn is going to be assisting with that effort. We sent a letter to the Highland Village condos, and Mr. Boyle was in my office with the letter, so we've had a response. I'm going to be working to get him some information so that he can message things appropriately out to the condo association. And I also relayed the fact that we're likely willing to work with him to figure out how to resolve this together.
It's the chair of the homeowners association.
Yes, and he is made aware of that they have some stuff on their end that they need to resolve as well as. So it's a good conversation, and then you stole my thunder with the TED fact. Like, I think that's it for right now. It's been very busy. I did miss my call with FEMA, but they are working on the roads and we're in touch with mitigation as far as road measurements again. So that's it for this evening. There's a planning board meeting notice for August 13th at 6:30 p.m. This is the site plan review for Access Realty Group for case 875. This is the motel.
Will that be upstairs? Will that meeting be upstairs or are we
I
expecting?
think we're planning for the auditorium.
I think that's probably.
Yeah. Zoning board notice of decision, variance approved with no conditions at 112 Main Street. Special exception dismissed at 7 Page Hill. Land use permits for 45 Buffalo Road, 7 Page Hill Road, 274 North Road, 94 Elm Street, 202 Main Street, and 58 Elm Street. Next up is public comments.
Okay,
First question is, with respect to the housing, how do you suggest I get on board? Other members here in town, or do you have any documents on what?
There, I'll be sending a letter to Kristen Bernier. The Lancaster Housing Authority is facilitated by the Berlin Housing Authority. They actually have an upcoming meeting, I believe, on Thursday of next week. So I will, put you in touch with her,
So,
and go from there. Yeah, I'll be your, liaison in
you're
charge.
getting point in the right direction.
Yep.
Same thing, as far as, I really appreciate the, discussion about Lancaster Police Department helping us out with traffic. One of the things that occurs to me is even if they do make it worse, they're out there and their presence, and that's a good compliment to them. I think the citizens really worry that they're just sitting in their cruisers, and we know they are not. But I think presence on the street is great, and thank you for bringing that up and helping the chief see about it. That's another thing I see from time to time, police department is now posting pictures of people who have been arrested. Have you seen that? Are you aware of that?
Yep.
Is that covered by some town policy? Because it doesn't, obviously, he says, well, we had 77 stops last week, but I only see 4 pictures. And there must be some way that they choose who goes up there, and probably good to have a policy of some kind about what's done. I don't know the answer to it. I think it's good to shine light on all of that. I just wondered, it's just freelance or random, whatever. And the third item about that hedge situation, if you look at the Lancaster tax book, the GIS thing, and you zoom in, it shows the length in feet of each property line and all the angles and everything. So I think the survey is in place, and there's not too much difficulty working with that. I noticed there's there's a double row of trees there. So if the road closest to the road was cut out, there would still be a hedge there, and I don't know whether that's in the right of way or not. The other problem is that the 49 feet, if you look at the GIS deal for the lot across the street, unfortunately, part of his barn is right in the town. And complicated, that is a designated historic farm tax deduction. So that makes, whether that's an out for somebody or some way to get around it.
Don't believe so. It's just historically, like I'll even go up onto the state road just by Paris's.
Yeah.
The barn there, the barn itself did not come out into the road
Yeah.
right away, but they had a ramp that was most definitely in the right way. It was kind of common back in the day because it helped the farmers with the ease of paying
Yeah,
and getting to their barn. So I don't think that's unusual. I don't think that gives them an out.
No, I just thought I'd mention that there is a historic designation there. The other thing I will say about it is they did the roadside mowing on that road last week. And nobody called my house and said, do you mind if I cut vertically with the thing? And they trimmed off all the branches on the trees by my place on the right of way. And so I always wonder, well, why didn't we just put the mower up vertical and mow off the side of his hedge? And it's sort of good for the goose, good for the gander. I think that I have to agree with you, Leon. I think John has kind of been playing the, well, I'm not actually saying it, but I might sue you if you do anything game. And I think you're right. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. We sort of have to address it. And whether we get caught with a liability problem or a lawsuit from the landowner, it's all the same. And I agree with you. John's a friend of mine, I've known him all, but, like you say, this has been going on for 30 years. And the survey that he showed at the town meeting was 20 years ago. We only showed half of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of the strategies involved in get heat done. So I think you're right. Let's get off here. Shows clearly 41 foot right away, shows clearly that the hedge in question is in the right way. and it shows that the barn's in the right way. Back up and sitting okay on that. No problem. Done. You can't make it move fine, I don't care if it's just talking on, nobody wants to make it move or not. But beyond the barn, inside of the barn, he put another hole. They got, we don't do the right, well, on X, 29 foot. Pretty, and it's very clear when you go back towards Garvey Hill, you've got a ditch, which you don't have next to the ditches, and then you got a back hill, and then you got a stone wall. Now, I don't believe for a minute, the road there, but his convenience in front of his house, and then widens out again, that's the point. Like Rob said, the town's GIS shows it, 1X shows it, these people didn't dream this up. The road is not narrow. And what? They figure all forward, those things, like, they don't believe here. Should be done, but should have been done a long time ago.
You don't disagree with it, should be done. But I don't want.
That's the way.
Okay.
Acting in good faith, doesn't it? Now, you told me last meeting that the dump road engines were gonna be, water filter engines were gonna be fairly, yeah, fairly.
No, they haven't, I don't know when they're scheduled, but.
Yeah, the highway department's been very busy, so we've got first, I'll say.
It's gonna be done, it's,
So is it, why is it up to the highway department, should be up to people, don't they?
well, in that case there, it's in the state right now. People have passed away, so. Maybe the best thing to do.
Don't do it, it's terrible with one we're talking about, out there, tell me, another one on Pleasant Valley.
Let's try to get this one resolved first.
Yeah, like, we reached out to Water Street in May, we have to do a notification process, we were lucky enough that the next of kin were agreeable to taking down the hedges on Water Street, so we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Stuff takes time, and my highway guys, I just don't have the time right now to pull them off the road, so we're working with the pavers and the railroad and everything else, so it's gonna get done, it just. Water Street,
I understand that.
Yeah.
But, what I don't understand is it should be up to what they're in the state or what, should be up to the land because no. Well, no, on Pleasant Valley Road, he's threatening to sue down if they touch that.
Alan, Pleasant Valley and what crossroad? Huh?
By Rowell.
Pleasant and Crook and Rowell? I'll be out there, so I'm gonna see what he's talking about, thank you.
Probably does not.
Sure, there's plenty enough.
Great.
John, have you seen
No, of course, yeah, on the paving that you do. With that sidewalk there. So. Sidewalk was a little higher, it appears that it doesn't flow, but very minor. So that's gonna interfere with drainage is gonna be an issue.
That was the concern of the resident that called.
I know towns are the good. They're too down bad that somebody could be on a job when they're paving, because these people do, I mean, they've already contracted, they're paying money to And the thing is, that if they put too much asphalt in there, then they're gonna. My driveway. And I don't know how much of a lake the town has to stand on, because contractor's already done the damage. The other thing I wanted to ask was about, getting back to the, Alan mentioned about you guys back years ago excavating. Are they excavating the shut off? Is that what they're doing to determine who's on ledge and who's on? Yeah, they will pothole. At the water shut off. Gonna do two things. Gonna tell what the homeowner has and what the town. Now, if the homeowner has, we'll say, lead. Or Gilpin, are they mandated to change that, or they belong to the town side? No.
Well, if they don't change it, they'll be notified we'll have a notification requirement to advise them that
If they want water.
they're risk.
Well, the thing is, how much of a leg do we have as the town to stand on if we don't own the homeowner side of it?
We can't make them change it.
No.
We just inform them of the risk.
So there is.
We
The
tell them
water
every
from
year,
the town
it's
is lead
your
free.
risk, your risk.
They want to be able to say the town water is lead free, it's lead free, as long as that. So you're shut. Understand that, and that's in writing. Yep. That's got all liability from the town. Right.
And that's beyond the deed going for it, right?
Now, getting back to what Alan was saying years ago, this was documented, we don't have any records showing anything at all. That's what Tim has been doing, and it's very, no. There's nothing up here at all on this level here that,
Yeah, not in this floor, not in this house. We've gone through every story.
there's some, but there's a lot, but it's, just sad to know, I mean, when you started talking about the water and sewer, I can, down the road. Well, this is what I'm seeing here as well. It's, and it's, well, the thing is my concern is for you people here at the table, all five of you. You've got to answer here to somebody, and that's not easy to do. As a public servant, as I've been introduced to myself in the years. So I understand where the public is. I understand where you people are. I can relate to them. But that's all I have. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? No, they have nothing to say. No, motion to adjourn. Yes, all in favor? All right, well, urge you.